Okay, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be doing a review on the new JBL PartyBox 130 on the right, and then effectively a comparison with the Club 120 as well, seeing as obviously it's kind of direct replacement, so it only makes sense for it to compare, you know, for those of you that have the 120 like myself and use it as kind of like your daily driver, you know, is it worth upgrading? That's what we're going to be exploring in this video. So design wise, it's very different actually. Like the difference between the 100 and the 110 and the 120 were kind of not that big, but the differences here are large. As you can see, the 130 is physically a larger speaker. It's maybe a couple centimeters taller, a bit wider as well, I think. And the design is very different on the front. You've got light bars at the top and bottom, but instead of being one kind of fluid bar, they're split in the middle. So you've got kind of one at the top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. You've got the lights around the woofers in the center are much thinner, and they're kind of just one curvy bar going around them. They don't meet in the middle like they used to on the 120. And yeah, they're a bit thinner. There's less kind of room for color changes and motion, stuff like that, which is a bit of a shame in a way. It's still got the tweeters at the top left and right, so that much has stayed the same. The top of the speaker is very different. Obviously the 120 has the kind of what we all know and what we're used to from JBL PartyBoxes. We've got those two dials, one for the lights and one for the volume. Here we've only got one dial, and instead you use a menu button to change what that one dial does. So it's got a little screen on the top effectively. So at the bottom right, the button, you've got those little three lines, that menu button. So you can change it between changing the volume, changing the lights, and seeing the battery percentage around the dial. So it's kind of multifunctional, which is obviously like slower to use daily, but it does look a bit fancier and it looks a bit cleaner just having one dial. The bass mode button, which looks different now as well, it doesn't say bass boost anymore, it's just kind of B with some brackets around it effectively. So it's still got the same levels of bass mode, you've still got three. Power button in the middle, you've got Auracast button, and you've got a Bluetooth button. Obviously if you want to play and pause the music, you can click that dial on the top, that center dial, and it will play and pause the music or skip it, whatever you want to do. The handle is also very different. Like on the 110 and the 120, you had the kind of just normal square handle. It kind of just slots down. This one's got a really big, more like U-shaped handle. So once it's folded down, it's effectively like the back of the speaker, and it just kind of pulls up. So it is easier to pull up. It also feels much comfier to hold because it's less square. It's a bit more rounded. It also feels much more sturdy as well. So that's quite nice. If you're moving the speaker around a lot, that's going to be quite a nice upgrade. On the sides of the speakers, we've got different design as well. We've got a kind of rough plasticky texture, which doesn't necessarily look very premium, I'll be honest, but I guess it's going for the rugged look. But yeah, it's kind of similar logos and kind of design features, but yeah, completely different material, and sticks out quite a way as well. You can see from this angle at the side of the speaker, you can see that plastic bit poking out. And then on the back, we've got the removable battery slot, we've got the waterproof cover for all the inputs and outputs, sub-escape charger, all the normal stuff we're used to. But it is quite a major design change. I think I have seen lots of people online, so, you know, kind of going on about how they don't like these changes and they think it looks a bit weird. I kind of agree. Maybe it will grow on me, but it's a I don't know, it's a controversial design, I think. But we'll go through specs, which is obviously what people are probably most interested in. So they're currently on the JBL website, they're both £350. So the price hasn't changed since the last generation, but also the 120 hasn't gone down yet. Although you can get it cheaper at places like Argos on Amazon. You can get it for 300, 320, I think it is on Argos right now, but not a whole lot less. So, you know, you might, I mean, yeah, give it a month or so and the price might plummet because it's been replaced effectively. On wattage, the PartyBox 130 is 200 watt, the 120 is 160 watt. So they've upped that wattage there. We'll speak about why a bit more later. Frequency range has stayed the same, 40 Hz to 20 kHz on both of them. As for the drivers, the PartyBox 130 has two 5.2 inch woofers and two 1 inch tweeters. They're silk dome tweeters, so they're quite a bit smaller actually, The Club 120 had two 5.25 inch woofers and two 2.25 inch tweeters. So the tweeters were over double the size. They were 1.25 inches bigger. And you can kind of see that as well when you're looking from this angle. The tweeters on the 120 are considerably bigger. But obviously it's easy to get confused and think that bigger drivers always means better, but especially in the tweeter world, it's kind of the opposite, because you need the tweeter to be light and small so that it can react quickly to changes in frequency, so that it can play those higher frequencies with less distortion. So the 130 has those 1 inch silk dome tweeters, which, like I said, can kind of react quicker and produce higher quality and just physically higher notes. But JBL have upped the wattage from the amplifier from 160 to 200 so that they can move quick enough that they produce the same volume and output as the previous gen 2.25 inch tweeters. So you're getting a bit more output actually, but effectively kind of like the same volume as before, but the tweeters should give you a higher quality, a higher note effectively of music. So we'll test that out in the sound test. Bluetooth 6.0 on the 130. There was Bluetooth 5.3 on the 120, so nice upgrade there. Weight is about the same. It's 11.3 kilos for the 130 and 11.05 for the 120. So it's gone up a little bit, as you probably expect by the slightly bigger dimensions of it. Battery life on the 130 is 15-hour playtime, and it's got a 3-hour charge with a fast charge feature in the 10 minutes of charging will get you 80 minutes of playtime. So if it runs out, you can pop it on for 10 minutes and have that other further 80 minutes. It is also swappable battery, as all the party boxes are these days, so you can swap it out. Just like after that 15 hours is over, you can put a new one in and then just do another 15. You don't have to wait to and you can charge the other one in the meantime. So it works quite nicely. That's a bit better than the 120 in that the 120 had 12 hours of playtime rather than 15, and the charge was 3.5 hours rather than 3. So the battery technology has improved here, which is nice to see. Water resistance is looking the same. We've got IPX4 on both of these. They've both got AI sound boost, so that it's effectively just like similar to Samsung's waveguide and lots of others in that it kind of scans the frequencies it gets back from the room it's in and boosts the sound and changes it depending on what room it's in and the atmosphere it's getting back effectively. They've both got Auracast, as you'd expect. The 130 has some extra features. It's got a smart EQ mode so that it analyzes the music or the audio that's playing and decides whether, if you're playing an audiobook, it decides to focus more on the vocals. If you're playing some bassy music, it decides to put a bassier EQ on there. So that's nice to have that sitting in the background as well, just to make sure the sound always sounds as good as it can. It's also got USB-C lossless playback. I think the 120 had lossless, but it was only through a USB, like a USB-A, with songs loaded onto it, whereas the 130 has USB-C kind of like live lossless playback as long as you've got a device that supports it. It's also got an optical connection, dual mic and guitar inputs, and karaoke EQ tuning as well. So lots of option for connecting to these speakers, in the 130 even more so than the last gen. So the spec list is fairly similar as we'd expect with JBL, but there are some nice upgrades on the 130, some actual things that might sway your decision. So now we'll do a sound test. Obviously, the important thing, we'll listen to them and we'll see if the sound has got any better. Okay, so that's the sound test over. That was a really tricky one because they're so similar. You can see, I'll put the frequency charts up on screen. I think that was low and bad. I'll put the frequency charts up on screen now. You can see the difference on the bass end is basically nothing. They give the same peaks at the same time, the same drop off. It's like, it almost looks like we're looking at the same chart. And then kind of similar story throughout the mid-ranges, to be honest. The only real difference is where we expected to see it because of those smaller and like effectively higher powered tweeters. You can see the drop off right at the end is definitely slower and less dramatic on the 130. The 120 has a bit of a steeper drop off effectively, but it's not that noticeable to a human ear. And they both sound so similar. So I think realistically, as far as, you know, if well, as a speaker review by itself, it's just as good as the 120. The design is obviously, that's your opinion, but objectively, it's just as good as the 120, and it's a great buy for anyone looking to buy either of these speakers. Presumably you'd be buying the new one because it's about the same price anyway. It's a great speaker and you should just go ahead and buy it because it is the benchmark for speakers of this size and in this price. It is the best party boombox type speaker on the market that's never been in doubt. So that is, you know, it's brilliant. If you're looking at upgrading from the 120 and considering, you know, wondering if you should or not, I think the answer here is no, to be honest. Unless any of these new features speak to you, like, you know, the USB-C lossless, or maybe optical connection, or the smart EQ mode, or the slightly longer battery life, or the newer Bluetooth version. But apart from that, like, it's realistically to listen to, like, again, if you blindfolded me and I listened to both of these, I wouldn't know which is which. They both sound excellent, but there isn't a whole lot of upgrade here, to be honest. The biggest difference between these two speakers is the design, and personally, I actually prefer the 120. So it's, yeah, whether you upgrade or not is obviously, yeah, depending on any of those features speak to you, but realistically, there is no reason to upgrade here. You're not missing out anything. But as a speaker in its own right, it's excellent as always, and yeah, I look forward to comparing it with other things in its market in the future.